how's it going? I hope your feet don't hurt too much, but if they do, I'm here to help you learn some massage and stretch techniques for your feet and also for your ankles and your calves. So if you suffer from plantar fasciitis, you have painful feet. If you suffer from a bunion, you have painful big toe, right? So these stretches and massages are actually going to help you find relief. If we haven't met yet, my name is Frances Eve. I've created Holistretch to help you find relief in your body and feel free. So if self-massages are something you're interested in learning more about, or stretches, then definitely subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more videos. And give this video a like. So all you need is a ball. Now, this ball has been a cure for my bunion. I mean, I swear, if I didn't have this ball, I don't know. The massages have helped so much. So you don't need a special massage ball. You can use a tennis ball. You can use a lacrosse ball. And if you don't have any of that, you can use like a kid's ball or a dog toy ball. But what you want to do is look for durability. So you want it to be pretty hard so that if you step on it, it doesn't completely flatten or squish down. If your feet are very painful, you do want a ball that's going to give you a little bit more give. So a tennis ball is about intermediate level. These massage balls are more advanced level because they're hard. And then, yeah, the softer one will just be a little bit easier for you to work with. Okay, so go ahead and grab your ball and let's get started. All right, so I'm going to try and show you at this angle. So I used to be a performance arts dancer, a go-go dancer, and I used to wear heels all the time. So my big toe used to actually curl in quite a bit this way. And through massage work, I've actually been able to straighten it. And so thereby avoiding all this other pain and complications that come with that. So my toes are pretty straight now. I only have a very slight bunion now, but I'm going to show you the massages and the stretches so that if you have that kind of problem, then this will help immensely. All right, so first we're going to bring the pinky finger to the inside of the baby toe, the ring finger to the inside of the second toe, the middle finger to the inside of the third toe, and the index finger to the inside of the fourth toe. So your fingers are sandwiched in between your toes. So even this might be an amazing stretch for you. If you have tight toes or you have a bunion, this might be just enough for a while. And what you want to do, you don't want to just hold it here. You actually want to flex the toes and point the toes. Flexing and pointing. Now, if this is easy for you, then continue sliding your fingers towards the joint. So the toes are sandwiching the fattest, most densest part of your finger, and thereby creating even more space. You want to be able to get a little bit of a grip on your foot, so go ahead and bend the fingers and pointing and flexing the toes. Now you have a bunch of toe finger sandwiches, and we're flexing and we're pointing. So what we are doing right now is we are retraining that fascia. We're actually breaking down fascia and scar tissue. When we have a bunion, essentially the fascia will pull the big toe over towards the other toes, right? So what we want to do is start to train that big toe to be back into alignment. If you can, see if you can get 2 fingers on the inside of the big toe and continue this process, flexing and pointing. The big toe gets to be in alignment with, if you notice the tendon, when you flex, if you notice the tendon, it gets to be in alignment instead of pulling towards your other toes. So notice that. Notice how your other toes are in alignment and your big toe may be out of alignment. let's create some tension in here, some resistance stretching. So we're pulling the big toe up and pushing the big toe against our hand for resistance stretch. You're probably going to hear a lot of clicks and cracks in your joint. I always do, always, because I'm always retraining this big toe. And you know, when I first started, this would have been really painful. So take your time and go slow. I've been doing this for a long time, so it's pretty easy, but I still get sometimes those little cracks and pops. So we want to continue to do this, pressing the fingers in between the toes and pointing and flexing. If it hurts too much to have your fingers in all the toes, then you can have them just between the big toe and the first toe. Now, if you have a bunion bump, your joint is inflamed, you can take that thumb and just make circular motions. So self-massaging that joint there. So as you're moving the big toe downward and upwards, you're massaging the joint. Now what we want to do is massage in between the toes. So we're taking the thumb and we're pressing in between the toes, creating more space. So really in all these stretches and massages, we're creating space. Continue to massage in between the toes, pressing the thumb in between, and just making little squeezies. So from the bottom of the toe all the way down to where the joint is. All right, let's try again. So let's try putting the fingers in again. Little finger on the inside of pinky, little second finger inside of second, middle finger inside of third, and index on the inside of fourth. Now see if you can get a deeper grip this time. So you might want to slide your fingers down towards the joint and then gently close your hand around your foot. Noticing the alignment, so making sure that your big toe is still in alignment, or doing the best you can. Sometimes I notice that my big toe twists outward a little, or actually twists medially, so it twists a little bit towards the inside. So what I do is I take the other hand and just gently twist it the other way. So just retraining that big toe to be where it needs to be. And in this process, you can also pay attention to the other toes, give them little squeezes. And so one of the areas that hurts most often in general is right underneath that big toe joint. So what you want to do is take your fingers right underneath the big toe joint and gently press in here. And as you're pressing down, you want to flex and point the toes. So be gentle with yourself here. Again, if this is something that does not bother you, you can always go deeper. So you would press even deeper into your foot. There's really no perfect way to do this. I'm showing you some resistance techniques that you can do, massages and stretches that you can do, but ultimately you get to listen to your body and do what feels good. So trying to keep that big toe still in alignment, pointing and flexing. Why are we pointing and flexing? Because this is breaking down the fascia on the joint. And we're also strengthening the medial side of the foot and creating more flexibility. Good. If you want to take 2 fingers to the inside of the big toe, you can wrap your hand around that big toe and massage that joint. Pointing and flexing. Awesome. And so what we're going to do is, I'm showing you with my hands, what we're going to do is just open up the top of the foot. So you take your hands kind of like you're breaking bread, and both hands on either side of the foot, and you're just pulling down on either side. It's kind of like you're breaking bread on your foot. This is a really nice massage and great foot opener. We can go back to those massages between the toes, feel where the joints are, and separate them. Already you should start to feel more space in between the toes, and hopefully some release of any pain or tension in the big toe. All right, so let's go ahead and grab the ball now. And what you're going to do is find that big joint, and you're going to put the ball right on the underside of it. So it'll be towards the middle of your foot. And go ahead and let your toes curl over the ball. You may be in such a situation where you're too stiff and you're in pain, or you actually can't rest your hand on top because it hurts too much. So in that case, don't worry about pushing the hand down. Just allow the toes to gently fold over, curl around the ball. Now, if you can allow the hand to gently apply pressure down on that foot. And just some gentle rolling around this area. Take it super slow. Really noticing what you're feeling and where you're feeling it. Sometimes just holding it right underneath that joint for a while can be a huge, huge relief. And you may notice that when you move your foot medially and laterally, so moving your foot side to side, that you're going to get different angles. And what you get to do, this isn't easy, but what you get to do, I'm just pointing at the alignment, try and find the alignment, is that when there's an area of pain, it hurts a lot in one area where you have the ball, release a little bit of pressure, but I want you to hold it there. When you feel pain on your foot when you're on the ball, that is a sensitive area, and that's an area that actually gets to be massaged. So don't avoid those painful areas. What I would recommend is that you release some of the pressure so you're not in too much pain, but then gently melt into it. So with these ball exercises, you want to make sure you're in alignment and to continue melting. Now go ahead and stand up. You can stand up and put a little bit less pressure because you can rock from side to side, from one foot to the other. And you can also apply even more pressure if you lean on the foot with the ball. So play with this. Another thing to play with is the pointing and flexing while your foot is on the ball. Only you're going to know exactly where you need to go to release your pain.
We can roll the ball down towards the heel of the foot and press down here and see if we find some relief in the big toe here. In general, if you have a bunion, your whole foot's going to be pretty tight. Notice the toes and their alignment. Notice the space you're creating. Always be mindful of where your toes are in space. And if they are out of alignment, feel free to take your fingers and move them. And roll around. When we roll around on the ball, we're actually not only releasing pain and tension, but we're also strengthening the foot. And on the bottom of the foot, there are organ meridians, which is a fancy word for energy lines. And essentially, they go through the whole body. So when you're pressing on the bottom of the foot, you actually affect all the way up the leg, the hip, the back. So rolling on the ball can improve your posture as well. Go ahead and come back to sitting, and if you like, you can apply some pressure. And you can roll the ball from side to side. This goes across the fibers of your foot and can help soften up the tissues. All right, so when we work with the foot, we're aware of the fact that the foot is attached also to the ankle and to the calf. So we get to use the ball and roll on the ankle a bit and the calf. So when we roll on the calf, what we can do is take the big toe and flex the foot. And so when everything is flexed, everything is taut. And when everything is taut, it has an opportunity to relax and release. So that's what we're going to do. So just flexing the foot and then relaxing it. Flexing and relaxing. And you can roll the ball to the medial side of the calf, the gastrocnemius, soleus. And then you can also roll the ball to the lateral side of the calf. And flexing and pointing. Relaxing the foot, relaxing the calf. If you can't reach your toes, then just point and flex. And to end this session, let's just do some palpitations on the calf. So I'm just going to give it little squeezies. So pressing the thumbs on either side of the calf and just squeezing, 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 squeezing. Releasing some tension from the calf and the ankle and giving our foot some love. Warming it up, breaking some bread. And we can try sandwiching the fingers one last time. Getting a grip on our foot, seeing if we've created more space since the first time. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please subscribe to the channel. If self-massage and avoiding surgery and avoiding doctor's visits is something you want to do, then definitely I have so many stretching and massage techniques for you. One last thing I'm showing you right now is when you stand up, you want to press the toes into the mat. And actually, this can create a lot of space and a lot of cracking. So this is something I like to do at the end as well. So you're standing up and you're pressing the foot down into the mat. Just the toes down, pressing the toes down and coming back down. And noticing that your toe is much more aligned than it was before if you've gone through this video. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again. Have a wonderful day. Take care.